Hello, everyone. This is a special commentary episode. If you want to listen to the version with the audio from the movie, check the show notes. But otherwise, we're going to be starting the movie on go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Struggle Session. I'm Leslie the Third.
I'm Jack Allison.
I'm Shannon Strucci.
And today we're doing a special commentary episode on They Live. I'm very excited to do this. I'm especially excited because of our guest joining us once again. Our brother, our pal, Matt Christman. Thank you so much for coming back on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Of course. I always love talking They Live.
Yeah. So Matt, tell us, what's your history with this film?
I remember seeing it on HBO at my grandmother's house when I was very young, and being more than anything just blown away by the ending, specifically the shot of the nude woman having sex with the guy who turns out to be a lizard creature who says, "Hey, what's wrong, baby?" And I remember being like, damn, this is horny and insightful. And I've watched it a bunch of times since then, of course. But that was the first time.
I think I saw this movie first when I was in high school. I suspect this was another movie that I saw because torrents started existing. But yeah, I kind of just remember, just kind of being surprised by this movie, feeling so small and people sort of, saying, that it's good and everything like that. But yeah, I think I maybe even watched it because of the fight scene and because of people saying to watch it because of the fight scene. So I think I was surprised by, that there was, anything sort of beneath the surface. Because I also feel like this would have been an early Carpenter for me, as I'm trying to think back on when I first saw it.
I would have seen Halloween and probably seen The Thing 15 times because I love The Thing. It's my favorite practical effects movie. But I used to go to this film marathon in Chicago, this 24-hour B-movie marathon, and in late January, and they finished the marathon one year with this movie the day or the day after Trump got inaugurated, and it felt deliberate. So I saw this in a theater full of people while that was kind of happening politically in the country, and it was very weird. It was cool, but it was very surreal because I had seen clips from it and I kind of had an idea what it was about, but I got to experience it for the first time in a theater full of film nerds, and it was really cool.
Leslie, what about you?
Well, I gotta share some news with you. I'm gonna be honest. This will be my first time watching it all the way through.
Wow.
Yes.
That's very surprising.
Because it's one of those movies where I've known about it my entire life. I mean, I watch pro wrestling, so I know Roddy Piper. Obviously, I love John Carpenter thing, one of my favorite films, and everything, the iconography from this film. You see it everywhere. I know the story. I know how it ends. I know everything that happens in it. I just have never sat down and watched the whole thing. So I'm excited to share this with y'all.
Wild.
But I have seen significant bits and pieces, just not the whole thing.
It's hard
Cool.
not to.
I really like how subtle Carpenter is about the message of this movie.
Subtlety is for cowards and chumps. If you're really confident in your message, you want people to get it. Subtlety is when you want to have an out and be like, well, what do you think it's about?
Right.
Get out of here.
Ambiguity.
Yeah, get out of here with that. It's just so people can pat themselves on the back. Oh, I got it. Congratulations. You don't get what are you get a Cupid doll because you're able to penetrate the
Figured out
meaning?
the puzzle.
Yeah.
Well, already I'm disturbed by, this dystopia, like those little tiny ass TVs for $339 in 1982 money. Holy shit.
Well, that's something that the lizard people definitely gave us, is that now we have much better technology. Thanks to probably reverse engineering from their shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, TVs are like incredibly cheap. You can get like a 50-incher for like $350. Like it's
all the better to watch the indoctrinating programming. It's very smart, and it makes a lot of money for people and lizards.
It's like this is one of the few movies where the protagonist doesn't have a home. It doesn't
Right.
is unhoused.
I like that this is a movie that is basically about like LA homeless people. You know what I mean? We already saw like the LAPD kind of looking at them and everything. But yeah, it's wow. The unions always keeping the jobs to themselves.
I mean, that is true in a way, like one awful side effect of unionization is that it provided another way to divide workers.
Right. Creates another subclass.
Yeah.
I love when pro wrestlers or in other things, because no one watched pro wrestling and looked at Roddy Piper and was like, "Oh, that dude's jacked," because he was surrounded by like Sid Vicious and Hulk Hogan and all the Andre the Giant, all these like massive monsters. But in this, since he's in the regular film, you just see like he himself is a monster too.
Yeah, that's why he was mostly on the mic, because he looked like kind of like out of shape dude. But he was absolutely by far my favorite wrestler.
Oh, he was so good
from the Superstars era, Piper's Pit, baby.
Oh, hell yeah!
Just big, beefy 80s action guys. I like in 80s action movies just big, strong men.
Yeah, just showing it off. Like, what is wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it. I like it too. I like it a lot. I love Keith David so much.
Yeah.
Every time he shows up in a movie, I get so excited.
And we mentioned this when we talk about The Thing. Carpenter is just like effortlessly diverse in his casting.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is never talked about or really draw attention to, but like you look at this, you look at Escape from New York, you look at The Thing, like he has, he casts all kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Jack, imagine things could be this bad if aliens take over.
I mean, things could be this bad in LA. Wow. Right near me, there could be huge encampments of homeless people if aliens took over. I love how small a movie this is too. This is all just like shot. It's all like in downtown LA. Everything is so small in this movie.
Especially, which is very good considering that it is literally about an alien invasion of the world. But it's just 10 square blocks in downtown LA, because that's where the dreams are made, and that's the most meaningful place of consent and power is Hollywood.
And I like that you don't really find out why Piper's character is so down on his luck. He's just like, this is how life is now
Yeah.
for everyone.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, I was just thinking, I'm like, this, there's not a lot of movies that like portray homelessness like with humanity. You know what I mean? Like this is just like kind of a silly kind of schlocky horror movie, but already this is like shit you don't really see in movies is like, I guess like Los Angeles homeless being treated like human beings.
Or even portrayed at all. Like when you're never going to see a homeless person in a Marvel movie, like that's just like that's just a
right.
social
Tony Stark is a lizard person. You know what I mean? This is not that's who they'd have to fight against.
Last time I remember seeing homeless people in like a big budget movie were the Minions and John Wick. Lawrence Fishburne's Pigeon Man's like minion people.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, but that's not. It's not.
They're
like,
also
real.
It's
like a
people.
It's a fantasy.
Even really.
Like no, like everybody is like an amusement park.
Well, how much are those guys getting paid? Because that seems like the shittiest job in crime.
Yeah,
you have to live the life of a homeless person. You have to live outdoors. You have to smell bad, and once in a while, once in a blue moon, John Wick shows up and gives you a pirate doubloon, and then what? Like, how much are you possibly getting to make that worthwhile? And what are you even doing? How can you even spend the money? Like, wait, you can't get like a grill. You can't have a cool car. If you get a car, what? You put it in a fucking a garage? You can't even use it. Like, what the fuck are you even getting out of being in crime? It's like, I just want to be a homeless person with a gun. That's my goal.
That's just funny.
I like that they used the word hacker.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get a hack source in your work. You know that John Carpenter had a absolutely first-rate understanding of what it meant to hack something.
Oh, this is so cool. It reminds me a lot of the nightmare stuff from Prince of Darkness.
Like the very intense close up.
I like that if this happened now, that guy would just be like a 3K like Twitter account saying all this stuff and nobody would be listening to him. So Matt, obviously you're a fan of Carpenter. Where do you rank? What's your list of your top Carpenter films?
They Live is honestly up there with The Thing and Big Trouble in Little China, which I'm a big fan of. I think that doesn't get enough talk as one of his better ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that come to mind as like the ones I like most. Obviously I really love the horror, like the other horror ones like Prince of Darkness and Mouth of Madness also. But the ones where I just feel like he's having the most fun are those ones.
It is wild though, because like then it's also like there's like also Halloween. You know what I mean? It's like this guy like is like did it. He so did it all. You know what I mean? I'm like this man did The Thing and Halloween and Big Trouble in Little China. Just like tone as far from each other as you could possibly be. And he
Like,
does music too, and plays Destiny, the video game.
oh, his music is so good.
His music
It's-
rocks. His music is really good.
I've only seen three of his films. This, The Thing, and Halloween, and I like all three a lot. And I need to watch more of his films, obviously, but I've just rewatched The Thing so many times because I just it's like a perfect.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's pretty
perfect.
perfect. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that movie so much. It's one of my favorite like films of all time.
yeah.
I like Halloween too. I think as like a blueprint for slasher movies, but as far as like technical proficiency,
for
and,
sure. I think
Yeah.
the Halloween is just so wild to me that I'm like it just is one of these things where I'm like, I can't believe this man did all of this stuff. Like he also he kind of like also created Scream. You know what I mean? I'm like, he also created the whole slasher genre on top of all the rest of it. Leslie, I feel like I maybe have to say The Thing is the best one just for like kind of technical reasons, just for, like effects wise and just it being such a super solid movie. But yeah, I'm also a big fan of Big Trouble in Little China, and I love I like John Carpenter a lot. I love John Carpenter.
Yeah, I really like obviously I like The Thing. That's probably my number one easy. Number two, probably Prince of Darkness. I think it's the one that's the most capital L Lovecraftian of the films. My number three might be vampires. Like I know it's one of his lesser ones, but it's like
I don't know
for a
that I've never seen it actually.
it's based on a really really good book, but it's basically like bounty hunting, like it's vampire western.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've it's got James Woods
Yes,
woodsing it
James
up
Woods,
in the lead
yes.
role. That's I remember seeing it. I was very enthusiastic. That movie for me, there's good parts in it, but the stuff that kills me is just there's so many montages, and specifically the big ending like fight with the vampires is a montage, and it feels like, I mean, obviously, I mean, there's a good chance that that was due to budget issues, but it was unable to sort of hide it. It kind of deflated anything from me, and I ended up feeling kind of annoyed by it. Although I think James Woods great leading role there. There's no one will speak up for Ghosts of Mars. What the hell? I thought you guys were contrarians. You're not going to talk about how good Ghost of Mars is.
Look, what was the other one that came out like the exact same year? I think Red Planet, maybe with Val Kilmer.
There were two of them.
Right, there were
that
two
year
Mars
had
movies
that
that
year
year.
had two other Mars movies. Yeah, Mission to Mars, Brian De Palma, and then yeah, Red Planet.
I think I might have been more of a Red Planet fan if I'm remembering my year correctly.
Well, that was apparently the shittier one. So you're doing
Then
better
I am a
there.
contrarian. Yeah, perfect, exactly.
No, the real contrarian answer is Mission to Mars.
Yeah, Ghost was the one with Ice Cube. Like that one was kind of cool because it had like mutants and shit in it. The other ones, like it just seemed like really kind of boring. I don't know
I'm trying
why
to
all
remember
these.
now. I think Red Planet had like a Contact ending where there's like no aliens or something. I don't even really remember it.
I like it's just regular folks figuring it out for themselves.
Hmm.
Well, you got to get the glasses, though.
Yes, you do
Yeah,
have to
you
get
have
the
to get the
glass.
glasses.
That's the real challenge. What's the glasses in the metaphor? Better not be podcasts or fun.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. It's like they remake it and he's trying to shove headphones in his ears on the fight scene. Like, you gotta listen! You gotta listen to this episode!
I mean, people always talk about there being a remake of this, and so far I don't see you don't need to, like, every single problem that this film is talking about and pointing out is the same as is now.
Mhm.
Some things maybe a little worse, but
They will not. This is one I don't think they'll ever do a remake of. At least not with any kind of budget or as a studio product. Just because, not because it's too dangerous, but just because they'd be too afraid of getting canceled for like being anti-Semitic or something.
Yeah, I remember that. Where didn't Carpenter actually tweet about it? Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, no one thought that ever. It was never a thing anyone thought for a second until like 2 years ago. And once again, it's a thing where you've got a awful dialectic of idiots between weak bladdered Noah Berlasky types and Pepe and trolling Pepe's, where they're like, yeah, this actually is about the Jews, and then you have these credulous dullards who need someone to yell at and something always to condemn, saying, yes, it is. It is about Jews. And then, of course, you have the fact that that any kind of talk about a movie that's is a very, very heavy-handed explication of how ideology obscures the predatory nature of the ruling class. There'll be plenty of interest but from a lot of people in making that. Actually, no, this is about the Jews.
yeah.
And either, yeah, that's good, those are the real bad guys, or that's bad, you shouldn't talk like that or think like that.
Yeah.
There are no bad guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is exactly.
Bad guys are actually just
America's
racist.
actually great. So
Yeah, this is what we saw with the Trump thing, but the prayers for Trump, like people saying, "Oh, we can't dehumanize anybody, including Donald Trump." I'm like, are you happy? Like, you're gonna wish he had died by the time this is over. You're gonna wish you had wished he died.
I actually do think they could do a remake of They Live. I think that they would just strip out all meaning entirely from it. Like when they did the streaming series of Snowpiercer and just made it into like a murder mystery. I feel like they could do a modern They Live, but the twist in this one would be like puts on the glasses and also the homeless people are monsters too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
no, the both
2020
sides they live.
Yeah.
No. Who would they cast in the Roddy Piper and Keith David role? Because I can't think of anybody.
I mean, The Rock is your most sort of A to A analogy if you're doing a big budget,
I mean, he was supposed to play Jack Burton in a remake of Big Trouble in Little China.
Wow.
But he wouldn't be homeless. He'd be like a Uber driver.
Yes.
I think like a gig worker. Like he used to own a gym, but because of coronavirus, he had to shut down, so he had to start driving his Lyft.
I was going to say it's wild looking back and, also hearing Cameron talk about this with Terminator 2. This is around the time when the LA police were becoming the most violent police force in the country. It's wild to see how much imagery there is of movies around this time of the LAPD just like truly just as horrific imagery. You know what I mean? Non-heroic imagery of the LAPD.
The stormtroopers.
Yeah, the stormtroopers, specifically in their LA outfits. And wow, this, by the way, is like literally what still goes on today with the LAPD here in Los Angeles, like, directly.
Yeah, and John Carpenter was putting this in film, 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Like in
Yeah.
any other movie, these would be robots or
Aliens
like mutants or
or-
Right.
zombies or something.
Oh,
No,
yeah, well, I mean,
just
you know, we
the
find out
LAPD.
that they're aliens or whatever.
yes, but
But it also implies like all LAPD are aliens.
yeah.
Damn.
That's brutal.
And this is actually, and destroying a homeless encampment actually portrayed as a bad thing. I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like there's probably a romantic comedy where one of the subplots is
Getting
like
rid of a homeless encampment.
Yes, because
We're
it's,
cleaning up the city, so
Yeah.
we can go. Yeah.
like is driving down business at their boutique donut shop, and they have to get rid.
Wow. Roddy Piper's so good too.
Mhm.
Oh, he's great.
I wish he had done so much more stuff. Like because he didn't really do much in wrestling of note after a certain point, even though he was still hanging out. But like he could have done more film. Like, did you y'all see him in It's Always Sunny?
Yeah, he was great on that.
Yeah,
He had another lead role in a B movie. If anyone has seen Hell Comes to
With
Frogtown,
Frogtown, yes.
which is
I never saw that.
It's not great, but he's good in it.
He's very charismatic.
Yeah.
He really owns the screen.
Kyle's beating the shit out of a black priest. I wonder, but no, this movie is about how Jewish people rule the world. Yeah, yeah, totally.
And it is interesting narratively. I mean, he put all this before the reveal that they're monsters deliberately.
Right.
know.
Yeah,
Well, this is all stuff that just exists in, like, literally in America. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This just exists in America. And I guess this movie is kind of like, well, like, why does this happen in America?
yeah. It's not a surprise to any of them.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, this is just how
They're
they're
not like,
treated.
whoa, the LAPD's acting
What?
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing that he says after he gets the glasses and sees is figures. Figures it was this.
Yeah,
Of course,
that makes sense.
because
Right.
if you're at the bottom of the totem pole, the inhumanity of the people at the top is sort of obvious.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes.
It just keeps going.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's an interesting thing because, like, somebody started World War III. The answer is like, no, this is just like normal out there. You know what I mean? Like all the horror and like helicopters and everything. It's not World War III. That's just like Los Angeles out there.
Mhm.
God, Shannon, your point about like them not doing any reveal and showing all this is like really like that's why this movie is so effective. I think like
Mhm.
Yeah, because they're making it very clear that these are our institutions. That like the sci-fi gloss on it is a reveal, not a separate like a reality that we're supposed to enter into.
yeah.
The sci-fi reveal of it also is like, unfortunately, like more hopeful than real life.
Yeah, I was about to say, Jack, the reveal is actually that there's a way to fight it.
What a relief! Yeah, what a relief in this
Effective.
movie. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that that's what I find is very. It's obviously like that is frankly an inherent problem for any attempt at being subversive in certainly a genre movie is that you have certain constraints in terms of narrative and ending that lead you in a situation where you have to posit a certain ability to effectively address, and you get and this movie brilliantly fills that narrative role with the great reveal of the big punchline at the end, but then it ends and you don't actually know what happens next.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's sort of a big reveal of like, yes, we are aliens. We are here to rule over you. But like, aren't you guys being, but also aren't you guys being a little, frankly, intolerant?
That would be the move now. Yeah.
Right.
Like, or just like, well, what are you going to do about it? Like at the end of the Treehouse of Horror episode where Kang and Cortus are revealed. It's a two-party system. One way, like, there is no actual like affirmation that this is going to work, and I think that's a great choice.
Reptilian, please, person of cold blood. Thank you. 6 sunglasses too.
Ray-Bans, you can't beat them. What minute are you guys exactly on?
I'm at 32:30 right now.
Okay, good. Thanks. Just making sure. Oh, what?
Here we go.
Huh?
What?
What's going on? What?
Well, they're simply desaturating glasses, of course.
What?
It's such a wild shift too from what you just see.
An actual double take. He does it twice. He's got to do it twice.
Yeah, I would too. The Be Horny billboard.
If they had that, if they did the remake now, that sign would just say "Post."
Post.
Oh, I know what it would be. Instead of sunglasses, it would be a fucking vape pen.
Oh God, yes, it would be the ideology vape.
It feels like now it's like a whole new movie now.
Yeah.
It's interesting. One of the signs there was 8. It said 8 work 8 hours, sleep 8 hours, play 8 hours. That was actually in the 19th century. That was the rallying cry of the American Federation of Labor. 8 hours for work, 8 hours for sleep, and 8 hours for what we will. And it shows the way that challenges to the system are absorbed by it. That by the 80s, that's perceived as part of the like mechanizing, routinizing of human life that maintains consent.
Now we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Shepard Fairey art project that used all the iconography from it, but at no point did I ever feel like any of like the themes or the message came through.
Actually, it was perfect because the Shepard Fairey thing, it's the next step.
Yeah.
In the propaganda. It's like if the glasses show you the reality of what's being told by traditional propaganda or traditional advertising, the next level is to just say, yeah, no, we're lizards, but now next. So it's like, yeah, Obama is a lizard person, but he's our lizard person. you do wonder what the aliens are getting out of reading it. Or maybe they just like do it because it's expected of them.
Yeah, they have to. Everyone else has to see the example that they set.
Well, if it's the Wall Street Times, it is new. The actual print is for the aliens, right? It is for rich assholes. Like it is made for them.
This is your God. That's so good. Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is what it's like living in a place where there are rich people who you meal about with every so often. I have to say, like every so often, I'll see like just a mega rich person. When I was working in a store, I would see like people, were worth like 7, 8 figures just bouncing up in there. And it's just like, it is strange to see them try to behave like regular people.
When I was in London last year, I was waiting outside of a train station to get a cab, and there was a guy in front of me, and he was a small, diminutive, older, the most British man on earth, and he had a steel gray page boy haircut. And he was carrying with him, he was wearing a nice gray suit, and he was carrying a bag over his arm. And when the cab called up, the driver came out and helped him delicately hang the thing on. And like this guy, like just radiated old fashioned British money. And I was standing behind him with our producer Chris, and I was coming down off some acid. And I said to Chris in what I thought was a soft voice, I was like, "Oh, that guy's a pedophile." 100%. 100%. This guy is going on his way to a child buffet.
That's amazing.
He's going to eat babies. And Chris is like getting a little nervy, and I'm like, "What's the deal?" And then I look and I note, and I could tell like from like the stiffening and stuff that like they can hear me. And I'm like, "Oh shit!" But the guy doesn't say anything to me. Then he gets in the back of the car, slams the door. Like I realize like he can kind of hear me as the door is being shut, and he looks at me from the window, and then he gave me a little wave, like the frog, like Frog 1 in the French Connection. After he gets into the subway and Popeye stopped, and he just gives him the little fingers, like into the palm. That's what he did me. I remember it distinctly. He had a gold ring on, and he just gives me a little smile and a little wave, and I'm like, "Oh, yep, I was not wrong there."
Yeah,
absolutely going to the Jimmy Savile Memorial Dinner.
Oh, fuck. That's so fucking creepy.
Oh, yeah.
That's so fucking creepy.
The eyes, the shiny eyes.
God,
The
so
black and white
good.
shots
No
are
lips.
really striking.
No lips.
Yeah.
Like they're everything it's essentially a human face just without skin. It's just a raw muscle and skeleton.
So cool.
I love that the first instinct is just to start absolutely roasting the aliens. Like, lady, you look like shit. And you got to figure they're like, you don't look too good either to us, as one of them says at one point.
Ugh.
Yeah, you look to us just as we do to you.
Eh.
Oh.
Eh.
Now this seems unrealistic to me. I mean, the
That they
LAPD is
wouldn't just
showing
murk the shit
fantastic
out of him.
restraint.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't know. It's maybe this is some white privilege from Roddy Piper here. Or more
I
than
love it. He
anything,
clotheslines him. He clotheslines him. Oh, sick.
I think more than anything, it's that they want to know where he got the glasses.
Oh yeah.
It's like, because this is not supposed to happen, and they like that's got to be high priority to keep those out of people's hands.
Levy just murders 2 cops.
I know.
Again, without the glasses on. They look like
straight up.
deliberate choice.
Yeah, that is true. He has the glasses off. So he's just watching himself kill 2 cops.
That's true.
That's great. There we go.
He's like, let me take the glasses off for this.
They could just kind of skipped the middle, like, disbelief section.
Yeah.
Just went straight to the.
Well, that's because, as he says, figurative of something like this, he doesn't have to like unlearn a lot because he has only experienced America from the asshole. It's like if you're in the middle, it's where you have to spend some time going through the Kubler-Ross cycle.
Yeah, this ain't no Neo thing. He
Yeah.
like straight up gets it.
Yeah, yeah, because he doesn't have a sweet programming job, and then he can go to raves. Oh man, his eyeball fucking blew up.
Shit.
Yeah, just good action. Just good action. Squibs.
Squibs, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
There was no alternative back then. The golden age.
Yeah.
It really never got better, man. Oh, God.
Yeah.
If you actually go back and look at the Matrix now, like that shitty, horrific job that Neo was supposedly stuck in right now, that looks like a dream.
Yeah,
Like, that was supposed to be
that's
a
true
nightmare.
of Fight Club, but all that late 90s ennui stuff, end of history, like, is that all there is? Oh my God, life is so meaningless. And it's like, that's why everyone was secretly praying for 9/11. as Adam Curtis is showed.
Yeah.
And then we get what we wanted, and now we don't like it anymore. And that's the curse of Americans, is that we always get what we want, and then it's always ends up being terrible.
The monkey's paw nation.
Yeah, because we have the ability to actually assert will in like on a global scale.
Yeah, we are just like, we want it, and then it's like, wait, never mind, we don't want it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because all it can create is misery at all levels.
Yeah.
Mistake on his part. All cops are bastards. They're no good. There's no good cops. They work with the reptiles. They know.
Go to the studio, be like, you have to not kill one cop. Come on, we can't all be evil. Come on.
I think it's to give the audience rooting for him, because you're not just trying to, it's not just his story, it's being revealed. It's being, the audience is going along with it. And if you just start shooting regular people, even cops, then his like clarity of purpose and his hero status are more, especially if he's going to do it right before he kidnaps a lady.
That's his save the cat moment.
Yeah.
Like, he's willing to not kill a human cop. Yeah, so much of this movie is just LAPD cops as stormtroopers.
Mhm.
This is like right by my house. That is so wild.
Oh wow.
Like if they remade it, it would 100% be a private security firm.
Yeah, it would
Doing
be
it
like a
like that.
Blackwater. Yeah.
Meg Foster, eyes like a Siberian husky.
Oh, yeah. That Arctic blue.
Yeah.
Or like hippie neighbor, rich guy.
Those are some amazing 80s haircuts.
Yeah, that's quite a couple of perms.
So obviously, this film comes out 1988. It's obviously about Reagan, without being explicitly mentioning him, but it is about Reaganism. But the movie, like, you have this very like anti Reagan movie, and I feel like I don't suspect that the liberals and Democrats were really embracing this movie at the time it came out.
No, it was a big bomb. It was one of the movies that helped put Carpenter on the path to not making films anymore.
Because the thing bombed too, right? Critically and commercially.
Commercially,
It was,
definitely, and it
Yeah.
was mixed reviews at best.
I think, yeah, it was a later reassessment for the thing, which sucks. I don't understand. It's just unfortunate. I guess I understand it more. With this movie, although the thing is very like a dark.
Yeah, sleeping on the thing does feel that is like actually confusing to me, but I guess like reviewers are kind of dodo brains and they've been for a very long time, kind of dodo
Yeah.
brain people.
They're buffoons. They're losers. Say this as a film critic. I hate them.
Yes, I say this as myself as I criticize film. I think that they're fools and annoying.
So what's his plan right now?
I don't think he has one. Which is
Taking
why, what does he do? He seeks out others. Which is
Mm.
because knowing this shit doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
The only effective action comes from coordination. I do like what he says. He says, it's like a drug. It gets you high, but then you come down hard. Because there is that initial giddy, vertiginous feeling like, oh, I've cracked the code and I understand the world. And then there comes the brutal come to reality that there's nothing to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And that you have to now live knowing this,
Mhm.
which is much harder than living without knowing it.
But I guess the thing Carpenter didn't predict is that what if there was like an internet message board where you can constantly post about the conspiracy theory that you believe and find other believers to also not really do anything.
Just keep posting, and then feel like you're doing something, and drive each other insane every day.
It's like the aliens watched this movie and then came up with the internet in order to kind of make sure that
Honestly,
nothing like this could happen.
I mean, that's sort of how everything works. Not in the sense that it's thought of as this, not as technological and social innovations are conceived that way, but that because the structures that exist for to perpetuate the system by definition, that anything that gets added to it ends up doing that same job.
Yes.
And so you might, the internet might as well have been created explicitly to prevent social discontent from becoming radical.
And he just walks it off. Amazing.
Yeah, because he's a damn king.
Yeah.
Look, he's finding extra ways to fall. That's the pro wrestler in him.
Yep.
It's like
He knows how to take a bump.
in the modern remake, they would like go to the police with the information.
Oh yeah, yeah. Officer, I have these glasses.
And then like one lizard police would take him to the room and try to kill him. And it would be just the one bad apple.
Has he slept at all? Like, or eaten anything? And he just like fell out a window.
He can't sleep. He's got to stay woke.
Yeah.
This is what it feels like to be a poster. You are constantly hunted,
Yep.
constantly on your guard.
No one
You know
wants
the truth.
you to tell the truth about people.
That's the most persecuted class is posters.
You know, I gotta say this. Having been to LA a couple of times, this is the movie I've seen that most looks
It's true.
that LA actually looks like.
That's absolutely
Mhm.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this thing called Q that I need to tell you about.
Yeah, that would actually be the modern They Live is them finding out about Q and they're the bad guys.
Yeah. Yes, it's about stopping the crazy people who think that
There's a
about
bunch
the
of
lizards.
homeless who think that we're abusing children.
Yeah.
That photo.
So Matt, I have you here. You have been the scholar of the coronavirus of this time period, and so, given the themes of this movie, I have to ask you, why the fuck didn't Trump die of COVID?
He still
Because
could.
because God delights in human evil. I mean, how the hell Chris Christie's out of the hospital? I mean, honestly,
Yes,
at this
Chris
point,
Christie.
I know.
I believe that it's not real.
You know,
It's not a real disease. They're right. I feel owned. It's not a real disease.
I was saying to God that I would believe in God. If anybody died from this, I would like actually go ahead and believe in God. I don't know. It's unbelievable that it's not going to happen for Trump. Unbelievable.
I mean, I guess it's possible, but
It still could happen, but I don't think
maybe
so.
rich people do get. I mean, he got 5 billion experimental drugs. Maybe they all worked.
Maybe the Regeneron is actually crazy. Maybe it's
maybe
good.
we all need that Regeneron.
The Regeneron. Jim Cramer recommended he take Regeneron. Saved his life.
This is how posters are treated, like literal garbage.
For just trying to tell the truth. They throw you in a garbage truck.
This is getting shadow banned on Twitter. All the glasses are gone. You can't post.
I am till tomorrow.
Oh
For
no!
saying that I hope the president dies for 7 days. for 7 days.
Wow.
And they said it was for targeted harassment against the president. Oh, this is great.
Here we
So
go.
One of the greatest.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful because it's a perfect example of a long, brutal action scene that is also that is totally like plot extraneous, but is thematically crucial.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking hard. This can't be. You can't just like trade a couple blows and then he puts the glasses on. It has to be a goddamn
It's a big
drag
moment.
out. It's got to take a lot. They got to be a lot of pain. They got to be a lot of resistance. Because why would you want to know that? Because what good does it do you knowing these things? And also, why should you believe him? He's just some dope you met on a construction site.
I also like how instinctively this guy just doesn't want it. How much he doesn't want it. Just at a core level.
Yeah.
This was so fun to see in a theater.
Oh, it's so sick.
I was losing my mind because I had never seen this scene before. Oh,
It's just all so loud. The sound work is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not the same punch sound you hear in every other movie.
this is nasty parking lot. So gross.
Yeah. In the modern version, Roddy would be a white guy with dreads, definitely. Like Chet Hanks type.
Giving him the Nolan Ryan there.
Yeah. Like second by second, there's always something fun. So it doesn't feel long.
Mm-mm. Oh.
Backdrop.
Oh man, it gets so nasty.
Oh. Oh, his head.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, atomic drop.
Bite mark.
There we go. Suplex.
Oh, a gut wrench.
Oh.
Sick. What a horrible thing to do to a person.
Yeah.
Make them see.
Damn, they have terrible haircuts. Ah, damn it. Now I gotta hang out with this wanted police murderer.
This guy.
Well, he's right.
And we
You
both
got
look
me.
like hell.
I'm woke now. God damn it.
Oh, Jesus. So what? From what I understand, this was originally supposed to be Kurt Russell
Mm.
instead of Roddy Piper.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did he just fall through, or do you know what happened?
Yeah, it was originally was originally written for Kurt Russell, but Carpenter was just like, I've had him in 4 movies in a row already, so like I guess I have someone else.
I think this definitely works better because, like, Kurt Russell, I'm sorry, just too much of an actual conventional movie star.
Yeah, he's too
Mhm.
pretty.
He's not really believable as a guy who would be needing to, sleep in a flop house and catch work as a construction guy.
I think so too. I'm glad he went with Keith David though.
Yeah. He just explained to him how sometimes you gotta log off.
Like a knife in your skull.
Well, they ain't from Cleveland.
Yeah, hour and 4 minutes into the film, and they still don't have a plan. It's kind of interesting, but like if you are just a regular smo and powerless, and then you find out like the secret of the world, like what can you do really?
In the hotel room and drink some beers.
And that's why it ends up being you got to let more people know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All of his lines are so strange.
Yeah.
No, that can't be the case.
I don't know. I don't trust this dude.
That's the great Peter Jason. He's also been in a ton of Carpenter movies. There's also Con Stapleton on Deadwood.
Huh. Oh, wow. Okay, sure.
Famously hollered into a woman's boob like it was a submarine.
I like how he's holding that little baby gun.
I like they're like physically much closer to each other now. Like when they pass the gun off, their hands touched a lot, and they're kind of on top of each other because it's like, what else can they do? And they didn't really know each other that well before this.
Yeah. Ah, the resistance.
Is that a Patagonia vest? No, that's Liz Warren. Run. See, this is where I say no. I'm not wearing. I am not wearing contacts. I've loved this long without contacts. I'm not starting now, even if it is to detect aliens.
I got fitted for him, and then I couldn't get him out. And I was like, trying to pinch my eyeballs at the optometrist. It's awful.
This was like 1988. Like they still hadn't figured out contacts, from what
Like
I remember.
A glass circle you just like press on your eyeball.
Yeah.
Commies.
This is what happens when you get blue checked on Twitter.
Yep. Every blue check is a collaborator with the lizards. I believe that completely.
Yeah, well, Matt, like you get a ton of that now personally at you. Like people think you are one of
they do,
the
but
people.
if they will notice, I don't have a blue check. So that means I can't be by definition.
Yeah. That's the glasses. That's of the modern day. Is Twitter did it for us. They just put a check mark on everybody.
If you were going to try to do a remake of this, it would be interesting to see how you deal with the change, like that. Like I said, how things are more transparent now, literally, the way that advertising is now, and like the veil is more translucent, but nothing has changed. I remember I saw a thing that kind of broke my brain a couple of years ago. It was an ad on a Subway ad for the Emoji Movie. Does anyone remember that?
Yeah,
yeah, I remember.
And so a lot of the posters were of different emoji with the person who was voicing it, and the poop emoji was voiced by Patrick Stewart. and there was a poster in a subway station that just said "Meat Poop," and there was the shit and it's like, this ad is telling you, come watch shit. Not in any metaphorical sense. The actual text of the ad is, come watch this shit. And I posted that on Twitter, and someone, I can't forget who, they posted one of those they live memes where, it's Roddy Piper, without the glasses, and then it's something, and he puts the glasses on, something else. And it was him without the glasses, and it was that poster, and they put the glasses on, and it was the same poster. Like, there's nothing being hidden by that advertisement. It is just telling you, this is your culture. It is garbage. It is refuse. It is shit, and you're going to go watch it.
And you love it.
And you love that shit, don't you? You love the shit?
You have kids, don't you? I mean, if you have kids and you need them to shut up for a little while, come watch shit. Watch shit.
It's on.
No choice.
Movie with air conditioning. It's on.
All right. So another pitch for the remake. Just so what you were saying, like, the shit is the shit. Trump is the shit.
Exactly.
He is the garbage that we get. So what if the new movie is actually, you put the glasses on and you realize that the world could be different? Like, you see how horrible, you see the horrible messaging all the time, but you put the glasses on and you see something else.
That's interesting. Like, it would be a alternative. Like, what if this awful program was good? What if this awful element of society was good? That's interesting. Yeah, that would be the next step.
Hey, Matt, I just invented The Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick.
Oh, that's
wow,
true.
what a fucking genius I am.
Yeah, well done.
Oh God, you know who she looks like? The psychologist from The Brood.
I was just thinking that everyone in The Brood, we talked about, they got big anime eyes in Cronenberg films.
Yeah, Oliver Reed is the name of the actor.
Yeah, when he said she looks like someone, I was like, it's like the lady in The Brood.
Jeez.
Oh.
And this was in the midst of so many movies about the cops blowing away minorities, but like for a good reason, where they're the heroes. Like Cobra was out like around this time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and again, they don't have the glasses on.
Well, yeah, but now everyone's got contact.
Oh, that's true.
It's especially evocative with a big massacre carried out by the LAPD, because they famously had the Black Panther and the SLA shootouts in the 60s and 70s, which were sort of similar. Like, if you think of, like, this event, who's reported on, would have been reported on in a very similar way.
Right.
That those shootouts were. Like a terrorist cell of fanatical, people who have crime in their heart being put down by the LAPD.
And not to, gloss over, the themes of it, but this is just like a badass action scene.
Yeah.
And I was about to say, oh wow, this looks like a video game. Like, oh no, this is where the visual language of video games comes from. From John Carpenter, of course.
Yeah, this absolutely, especially him shooting those guys. It's like Area 51, the arcade game.
Yeah. We've been down this alley. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to shoot the boxes for more ammo. Keep going.
Yeah.
I love the light from the flares in this movie every time they use them. The red light.
Sometimes you got to jump in a magical hole.
Yeah. All right, so we got him trapped in the alleyway. The LAPD is coming upon him. All right, magical hole on the ground.
From what?
Of course, the aliens would have better transportation than we do and keep it to themselves. Of course. Like, this is the Elon Musk tunnel system.
the Hyperloop.
For real.
The communicators those guys have are also PKE meters at Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that deliberate or is that just like a prop you could get?
I think it was just actually recycled from the movie because this was low budget. They were available. But yeah, those are the same things. The same prop that is the PKE meter in Ghostbusters.
Put our giant guns away.
It says by 2025, the entire planet will be under our control. I think they're ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Just a banquet too. I love it.
They're like a sickly salmon pink too. Like fleshy pink color for everything.
They have bad taste. We know this.
Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's great. Not bad, huh? Yeah.
Like, obviously, they'll have this party once they release the COVID vaccine, right? Like, yeah, at Bohemian Grove or something else.
Little St. James.
There we go. He's moving on up to a deluxe apartment.
I didn't know about the teleporters in this movie. That's kind of cool.
I forgot about them.
Now you're reconsidering the aliens' offer. I mean, they give you that kind of technology. It might be hard to say now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd never have to ride Megabus again. That's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. I didn't know how. Oh, so these are aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But here's the thing, like, our elites are just as evil and do all the same things, but they don't even have this for themselves, and they don't have it to offer.
Well,
to us.
they're in the process of creating it, though. They're imagining off-world existence. If you go by the mutants like Elon Musk and shit, and even if they don't think they can get there, they're certainly imagining a parallel Earth, basically, that exists as far removed from the rest of us as an alien civilization would.
Yeah.
Like,
it's in New Zealand, right?
it's all New Zealand's. They've got all their sweet. I mean, and even without that, even if you don't get to the point where you have to go to the New Zealand compound, like the oases of ultra wealth in this world exists as this archipelago of a totally contained, independent, plutocratic state, like a transnational state, which is only accessible by these people. And yeah, like the metaphorical distance between them being from a different galaxy and the reality is not really that far in terms of their distance from the rest of us from a day-to-day practical matter.
So where's the Epstein room?
Grand Terror.
Yeah, I wonder what's in it for like the aliens who have to be the guards and like and the LAPD. Like,
Well,
how you lose that alien lottery?
well, presumably the hierarchy exists in the alien society as well.
Yeah.
And so when colonization occurs, like the class structure of the society is imported in it. By the end of colonial rule in Africa, there were like white homeless Portuguese people in Luanda.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's wrong with having a good for a change?
And at the remake version, that's when they turn and say, "Absolutely yes, let's
Yeah.
do." I mean, we do all sell out every day.
It's true. And I think that's all is part and parcel to the fact that he starts off as such a low point because not having something to lose is kind of crucial. And in America's position is such is that even people who, by any objective measure, have lives that are restrained and in many ways miserable and have no prospect of getting better, there's still a very keenly felt sense of possible loss compared to others that have less, if not around you, than imaginative in other countries. People who want to get into this country, and the terror of filling that spot is such that it keeps you from acting.
And there's no moral quandary about killing our alien overlord rulers. They just do it. Like it's on site for real on them. Like you just don't see that in a modern movie unless the villain is like Muslim or Russian, you know? That would have been the BuzzFeed offices in the remake. Top 10 ways to know you're dating a lizard person.
Oh, there's that nasty pink.
It's cool. Like the last, act of this film is just a third person shooter sequence. Although I don't know why they have like snow camouflage on.
Once again, probably they got those outfits. Like they were available in a prop warehouse.
Out of season sale.
Yeah. And here is the real lesson of this movie. Women are demons.
Oh.
You might think it's, she was too rich. She clearly,
Yeah, that's
on
when
the
Noah
wrong
Berlatsky
side.
got it wrong. This is a
don't trust-
misogynist movie.
Yeah, don't trust the rich. Nope. Women cannot be trusted and are, in fact, demons.
Wow, what a sad thing to learn.
Man, that's a really sad death for Keith David.
I know.
Oh, is she going to talk about how she's working inside the system to make it better?
I think at this point he doesn't. He's a little beyond being persuaded.
She broke the glass ceiling in the reptilian.
Owned.
Oh, wow.
There we go. You have no idea what's coming next, but he has acted according to his values, and that's what matters. Everybody does that. You might actually get somewhere. You have to be willing to eat shit. You have to be willing. You have to be willing to get machine gunned. And the thing is, we aren't. And so we're just going to keep on keeping on.
Good.
Yeah. And he's like, "Whoa, what's going on? Watch this little show."
I love the little sneak diss he has of people who criticize his films for having too much sex and violence right there. Name dropping himself in the movie. What a ride.
Yeah. Wow. What a movie.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun. I really love that. I realized I had seen 95% of that at some one point or another, but it's nice to get it all the way through because it really just the twist is like a real like twist, and I actually like it's a really when you go from just straight up police violence, the brutality of poverty, to this bizarre sci-fi alien thing, and then it ties it both together really, really well. I thought that was a wonderful movie. I'm not sure if it's knocking Vampires out of my Carpenter top 3, but it is close.
Yeah, great movie. I'm always glad to watch this. Happy to watch it again today.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love to see it. You love to see it.
All right. So, Matt, before I let you go, I normally ask people, where can they find you, but people know where to find you. Give us, a lot of people have been watching your chats and finding, inspiration, motivation, a reason to, go forward through the day knowing that the lizard overlords are in power and there may be nothing we can do to stop them. Can you give us a word of inspiration, inspired by, this viewing of They Live?
I would just reiterate what I said earlier. It's like, this movie does not give you the false comfort that you have won anything at the end. There's this great reveal, but what comes next is unknown, and our lead character, Roddy Piper, can't know what's going to happen because he gets owned, and that has to be everyone's comfort level. Everyone has to be willing to go out being owned and not knowing that anything you've done will actually amount to anything. But because the only way forward is if enough people get to that point and are pointed in the same direction.
Thank you so much, Matt. That was Struggle Session. Have a good one.
Have a good one.